Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today, we're going to talk about, is the Esperia Talon coming soon? If you don't know what the Talon is, I'm sure most of you do by now, because I'm not spoofing anybody on this video. The Talon is a Tavarin Light Fighter. There was a series of ships that were talked about for the next phase, or at least concepts that were talked about for the next phase, and one of them was the Greycat mining vehicle, which they just called it a ground mining vehicle at the time. Ended up being from Greycat, and if you look at the Greycat mining vehicle now compared to what it was at CitizeCon this last year, they don't really look very much alike at all. There were some different concepts for it, but yeah, it didn't turn out anything really like it, if you ask me. Maybe a bastardized version, I don't know. But we know that one's for sure coming out in 310. Another ship that they talked about was the Xi'an small cargo ship. We don't know much about that or the plans for that at this stage, but judging by how CIG works, you know, when people vote on these ships and stuff, they all end up coming out. This is kind of like a wave. They've had several different waves of concepts. They were kind of announcing it before they ever did come out, and then things started coming out. So, pretty neat that they have, you know, these ships that are possibly going to be in the verse. They also had a small refinery ship that they talked about doing that could actually pick up, you know, the little pods that the prospector or the mole would drop off, and it would go and refine the minerals or whatever, and then take it off the cell or something along those lines. I totally expect that ship to come out eventually as well. Maybe not this year. Who knows? But the other ship that was in there was the Tavarin Light Fighter. It was designed to escort prowlers into dangerous combat zones. The Prowler is very stealthy. It's a very big ship to be so stealthy, but it's supposed to be extremely stealthy, and it's got the little repulsors all over the underside of it, so it can get really close to capital ships and almost kind of bounce off the hull a little bit. Then it can unload its troops, and they can assault the capital ship from the outside going in. The Tavarin Light Fighter, which we know is going to be called the Talon, and it's going to be made by Esperia because they make a lot of the alien reproduction ships. Why do we think it's coming soon? Let me get to that first. Because they had a Comm-Link that came out for seconds, really, that said, Esperia Talon, strike hard and fade away. So that really gives us a hint that it is soon. Like maybe when 310 drops, this thing might be flight ready to go. I don't know why they would put the Comm-Link out, and you know, I know it was a mistake, but why would they have it ready, the Comm-Link that is, if the ship wasn't ready? Star Citizen Leaks says this probably won't come until 310X patch, so like a 310.1 or a 310.2. But I disagree with that analysis, because I don't think they would have a Comm-Link written up already and ready to go if it was coming out that late. I mean, they could. Maybe they worked way ahead of time. I don't know. But that just seems a little odd to me. Maybe it goes on sale and it comes out in 310.1. So it goes out on sale like in 310, and then it'll come out the next patch, or the 310.2 patch. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. From what I've heard, is it's going to be a light fighter that is very stealthy, and it's going to be capable of holding 2 size 4 guns. What's another light fighter that has 2 size 4s right now, or at least in 310? The Xi'an Scout, the Car2 Owl. That one has 2 size 4s, and let me tell you, in 310 the Car2 Owl is not a bad ship. It's definitely a lot more enjoyable to fight with than it was previously. It's a fun ship to fly too. It's one of those ships that actually, with the flight mechanics in 310, I feel has improved flight-wise. I can't say that about a lot of the ships in 310 with the flight mechanics, because I'm not a huge fan of the flight yet. It's just, I don't know, it's clunky to me. And, I know it's just an iteration, but I'm just not a huge fan of it yet. But I can definitely say the Xi'an is better. Now, the video you're watching, I just took this afternoon, and I decided to do the Kareah mission, and of course I shot there. But I'm going to decide to do the rest of this mission with a knife. That's right, I'm going to get 7 knife kills here in Kareah, just to show that it can be done. A lot of people ask, well, why? You can just shoot them. Well, you know, eventually stealth gameplay is going to be a thing, and the silent takedown is going to be needed. And I want to practice on getting those silent kills or those takedowns so that in the future I will be that much more prepared for the stealth gameplay and be able to use those mechanics to my advantage. But back on the Talon. So again, it's going to have size 4s, it's going to be a light fighter, and it's designed to escort the Prowler on its missions. If you haven't noticed, the Tevarin are a bird-like species. So the Prowler, it looks very bird-like. It's got a little beak at the front. It's got wings, the little feathers that fan out to protect the soldiers when you drop them off. The Talon will be probably something very similar. Even though the name is Talon, I don't think it's going to look like a claw, though I guess it could. You know, again, that's something we'll have to wait and see. There hasn't been any leaks other than, you know, CitizeCon with the initial concepts. And my guess is, since the Greycat mining vessel did not, or mining vehicle made a lot of changes, that the Talon will too from its initial concept. Because I don't think the Prowler was out then, so, you know, maybe they will design it based more off of the Prowler's architecture. We'll have to wait and see on that. But I do think that it's going to be able to compete with a lot of the light fighters out there, but it's going to be stealthy. I think the Arrow is supposed to be a very stealthy light fighter as well. It's from that generation, whereas something like the Gladius is not as stealthy. If you go any higher than that, you're talking medium fighter range. So yeah, what do we have that's stealthy right now in the light fighter category? It's really only the Arrow, or at least that's the design of it is supposed to be somewhat stealthy. Other than that, we really don't have much in the way of stealthy light ships. So it'll be refreshing to have that from the Tavarin or from the Esperia company recreating the Tavarin Light Fighter. I'm very interested in it. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like, how it's going to be. I can tell you that this was probably not going to be a cheap ship. If most people, so think about Gladius Arrow. That's about $90 for an Arrow. The Xi'an Scout was over like $170, $155, something like that. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be in about the $150 range, maybe more. Hopefully less. I know everybody would prefer it to be less. So what do you guys think? What's the price range this thing's going to come in? Are you interested in getting it? What do you know about it? Do you know more than I do? Because, well, I just don't know a lot because there's not a lot about it out there. We just have some initial concepted ideas and that sort of thing. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and ideas on it. I'm interested in knowing. Also, what do you think about the knife kills in this video? Are you interested in doing the stealth gameplay and getting those knife kills in the future when the stealth gameplay for FPS is more ironed out and better? I will say that this was all taken on 3.9 and not the 3.10 PTU. Things are a little different. AI acts a little different on the PTU, but it actually went down in the middle of my trying to get video for this video, so I had to jump over to the PU to do it. The PU was stable enough until the very end of this video, and then it actually dropped off, but I'm going to clip that part out. You guys don't need to see a 30K. You've seen a million of them by now, right? What else are you guys looking forward to in 3.10? Is it coming soon? Well, my guess still is it'll be after the first that we get it. I can tell you 3.10 is not in a great state. I don't think they should drop it out until it's in a much more stable position. Are they going to do it anyways? Maybe. I think as I'm recording this, they have updated the PTU to a new patch. So maybe that's going to help stabilize it a little bit more. I mean, it is Monday, right? So they probably got some work in on it today to make it a little bit higher standard. Hopefully they will have fixed a lot of the bugs and issues that have been plaguing it. It's more stable than 3.9 in my opinion, but there's still a lot of weird, crazy bugs that are not much fun. Something else that I'm not a big fan of, but I guess I'm going to have to get used to, they changed some key bindings in 3.10 recently. Used to, you could press J to change VTOL mode. And well, now J does something with countermeasures, and K is the VTOL mode. Kind of confusing if you're not used to it. The landing gear still has a problem coming up whenever you press N. You kind of have to spam it a few times for it to actually, you know, retract or extend. That's a pain in the butt and frustrating. Then there's also the gimbal mode, or locked gimbals mode. That has changed as well. I believe G will take care of that for you, but I had some issues implementing it. I wanted to show you this takedown here. If you don't have a knife, you can still smack somebody with your gun and they will fall to the ground. They won't necessarily be out, so you might have to stomp on them a few times like I did this guy, and then I just hit him with the gun a couple times just to make sure. But they have some really cool animations for takedowns in the game right now. And as you can see, I saw that guy. He's looking up at me. If I'm doing a knife takedown, I don't want him to see me coming. I'm going to have to change my route that I'm going to go after him. I do have a gun out just in case, but I really just want to do takedowns. That's all I'm looking for. It's a knife takedowns or the butt of the gun, something along those lines. So after the Talon, if you had your choice of ships between the Xi'an small cargo ship or the small refinery ship, which one do you want to see in game first? I would kind of like to see the refinery ship. They're going to have a refinery deck, which means they're kind of working on the mechanic a little bit. Why not bring in the refinery ship to really flesh out the mechanics some more? I think that would be very interesting. I think there would be even more reason for people to team up and play together, because hopefully they'll let you, jettison the pods from the prospector and from the mole, so that refinery ship can come pick them up. I just think that would be a really good gameplay loop. But maybe we could use some more cargo ships. I don't know. The Xi'an cargo ship, the concept of it looks a little funny to me. I don't know how that's going to work. I hope they go a little bit different route for it. I've seen some concepts for the bigger Xi'an ships in the past. I'm kind of interested to see how they manage to do all that. So now's the time I want to thank everybody for viewing my videos. You guys are awesome. Thank you to all my Patreons, all my YouTube members. Guys, you guys are going to make my dream come true. Doing this full time. It only costs $1 to join the YouTube membership program. So please, guys, check that out. It'll be in the description down below. My org is Texas. If you guys are interested in joining an org with a bunch of cool people that are really friendly and welcoming, that information will be down below as well. We also have a Discord. You can check that out too. Guys, I really do appreciate it. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.